Everyone, it's Alt Rider here, and I'm here to talk to you about my first Transformer of 2020. It is, of course, Siege Crosshairs. Now, Crosshairs here wasn't a figure I was really planning on picking up. I'd said to myself, if I see him in a shop, I'll probably get him. If I don't see him in the shop, I probably won't pick him up. And last Thursday, I popped into a shop in Wolverhampton, Forbidden Planet, and there was one there, so I picked him up. And I'm happy I did. I think it's a really, really nice looking figure. He comes with one accessory, which is the same accessory that come from his mould mate, Ironhide. I think this is where they've really missed a trick with this figure. I think it would have been better if he come with a new weapon or even a target master. Battle master, or whatever they're calling them these days. But nevertheless, the weapon has all the same gimmicks as his mould mate's Ironhide. It can flip over and become a hammer, or it can be a rocket launcher. It can be held in one hand, it can be held in two. It's a cool weapon. I just think that it doesn't suit this figure as well, especially because I don't know, I just don't like how that looks. I just don't think it fits. But nevertheless, it was an easy repaint. They've only really remoulded the head compared to Ironhide. But let's talk about articulation really quickly. His head can do a full 360 even. His arms can also do the same. He's got a bend at the elbow. He's got a swivel at the wrist. His legs can go forward that far, back that far, and out that far. And he has a bend at the knee, and of course he has a rocker. So articulation-wise, there's everything there that you need. Now this is probably the first. Keep me honest here in the comment. Well, you can't keep me honest in the comments below because you can't make comments. But I'm sure that we haven't had a cartoon season 4 accurate version of Crosshairs. Even the original toy version didn't have the right head. And just to prove it to you, here he is next to his Generation 1 counterpart. This is actually my childhood Crosshairs, and as you can see, he's got a few paint chips on there. The stickers have really seen better days, but you can see that this guy has a cartoon accurate head. This has a very different looking head. One thing I do really like is that the stickers, I mean this one's really worn, but you can see the influence here on Crosshair's legs compared to the G1 toy, which is a nice touch. I really, really like that. It's a cool little figure. Here he is next to his mould mate, Ironhide. So you can see they share virtually identical parts apart from the head. The hands are the same. It's molded in slightly different plastic, different paint apps of course on the legs, but they're essentially the same toy. I don't know which one of these weapons do you prefer. Probably prefer Ironhide's. I think it works a little bit better. So yeah, you can also take a Battle Master. This is the only Target Master, Battle Master I've got. I have got Lionizer, is it? It turns into a sword. But you can take one of those and pop it in his hands, and you can have that going on, which is quite nice. I've got his original G1 Target Master here. So you can pop that in his hand for that look, which actually looks pretty cool. If these weren't so bloody hard to find, I'd probably pick one up and use one of those for him, but there you go. So there he is in his robot mode, and he's a pretty good figure. I forget, there is one thing in this mode that does bug me a little bit, and that's these shoulder joints are just a little bit too loose. Not floppy, but if you put something heavy in his hand and lift it up, it kind of just gives way under the weight. That might be mould degradation, I don't know, but it's worth noting on my copy that is the case. Crosshairs in his alt mode, and it's exactly the same as Ironhide apart from some of the decos on the side here, which we mentioned in robot mode. It's good. it works for him. I can understand why this guy hasn't got a full mould of his own. Next to his G1 counterpart, let's transform him up. A little bit of G1 transformation on camera here. Amazing that we've got any version of this character 35 odd years after it was originally done, or whatever it might be. You can take his weapon and you can plug it in any of the siege ports, a bit like Ironhide. I like to have it around there. Or you can take a Battle Master and plug that in there. You can go for that look if you wish. You can probably take the G1 toy and plug that in if you want that look going on, which I think really works well. You could take the Battle Master port and his weapon and put it into the G1 toy if you really want to, and I think actually that looks quite cool. So there are options available for you there. Here is next to Siege Hound. So you can see how they look together. I think that looks pretty cool. Here is next to Siege Prowl, which again looks pretty cool. Siege Optimus Prime, which is soon to be replaced by Earthrise Optimus Prime in probably everyone's bloody collection. So yeah, Crosshairs, my first Transformer of 2020. I'm happy to have him. He's not one I was really looking out for. I genuinely thought Spinner wasn't going to be my first Transformers purchase, and it was the first one I paid for. It's just he turned up a few hours later after I picked this guy up. But I'm happy to have him. I do want to get 8-Face. I do want to get Astro Train. After that, maybe Skywarp, but I'm not going to spend that much money on him. It's only really Astro Train and 8-Face I really want to pick up now. And I can take or leave the rest. So yeah, until next time, I've been Zort Rider. This has been Siege Crosshairs. That's been Generation 1 Crosshairs. And until next time, I'll catch you again soon.